What's going on, 49ers faithful? Welcome back to the channel. Is another 12-5 record incoming for the San Francisco 49ers? Let's get it. Welcome to the Camman's Island podcast, where we talk all things San Francisco 49ers. I'm your host, David Camman. Today is one of my favorite shows of the entire offseason because we're finally breaking down the full 2026 San Francisco 49ers schedule and giving my official record prediction game by game. And after looking at this entire schedule, top to bottom, I have to be honest, faithful. I have the San Francisco 49ers pulling off another 12-5 season. Now, I already know that people are saying the schedule is brutal, the travel is tough, the NFC West is dangerous. I've also heard some crazy stuff like the 49ers windows closing. But I honestly believe that this football team is going to be better this year than last year. And we won 12 games. Not just good. I want you to hear me on this. Not just good. Better. And today I want to break down exactly why. Okay. Let's start with the biggest thing I think no one is really talking about enough. There is absolutely no way this football team is as injured as they were last season. At one point, it felt like week to week, somebody important was missing. That's simply by law of averages not going to happen this year. You are no way going to have as many big injuries as you did last season. I don't care if they put a substation in every player's helmet. We're simply not going to have this many injuries. Last year it was offensive weapons, defensive starters, key rotational players went down. Offensive line depth was just destroyed. And it completely impacted consistency across the board. But here's the thing. When this football team is healthy, they are still of one of the most complete rosters in the NFL. And I think we're going to see that again this year. I really do. Let's just call it a hunch, okay? I also feel like the 49ers run game returns. I know that as far as yards per carry last year, it was a struggle. It really was. I don't know if it was a combination of scheme or maybe just running CMC a bit too much, but I really feel like the writing is on the wall with this. I think the 49ers know. I think CMC knows. He cannot touch the ball again another 450 times. His body will not hold up. And so I feel like Jordan James, Keon Black, I think these guys are really going to get put in a position and in a place where they can contribute to the run game. And when the 49ers run the ball effectively, this offense is just flat out hard to stop. Play action opens up. Brock Purdy gets easier throws. And suddenly this offense is super explosive again. That is the identity that this football team wants to have. Physical, fast, violent, efficient. Another thing that I think is just naturally a no-brainer, faithful. Pass rush improvement. I think obviously the 49ers are going to get more pressure this year, and that matters because pressure changes everything. Pressure creates bad throws, creates turnovers. Pressure hides a lot of weakness in the secondary. There was a lot of times last year where Jair Brown got picked on. And I know there's a lot of controversy with Jair and the things being said and this, that, and the other, but the reality is, man, I don't care how good your secondary is. You can't hold up on the back end forever if there's no pass rush. I'm not fixing to delve into the pass rushing woes of the 49ers. They had less sacks than the Jets, people. The Jets. If you ever want to know if you're doing poorly in a statistical category, if you're down there with the Jets, you've got some seriously bad issues. And if this defense becomes somewhat disruptive again, our team immediately becomes more dangerous. So again, recap. more health, better pass rush for a team last year that won 12 games. This is a point I'm going to make, and I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this. I don't care. Is this schedule really hard? Look at the schedule. Is the 49ers schedule really hard? Okay. I've heard a lot that it's brutal. There's travel, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. But when I really analyze this schedule, I keep coming back to the same conclusion. The only proven dangerous teams on this schedule are inside the NFC West. Seriously. Maybe people see logos and assume greatness, but how many of these teams that's on the 49ers schedule truthfully are elite that you'd be willing to bet the house on guaranteed would beat the 49ers right now, today? Okay? Let's talk about these NFC West teams. The Rams, absolutely dangerous. I think they pulled the whole all-in thing. They had one glaring weakness that was corner in their secondary. They've buttoned that up. Spoiler alert, Sean McVay is still one of the best coaches in the NFL. It's not even close. The Seahawks, always tough, especially because these divisional games are always tough. But you have to realize that the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, has a better record against the Rams. It's just the truth. Look it up. I believe Kyle Shanahan 9-5 against the Rams. And up until last year, now I want everybody to remember, I know we got blown out in the playoff game, but we split the series last year with Seattle. Up until the last couple of games, Brock owned Seattle. Okay? So, once again, the Niners will be healthier. Our defense naturally will be better. We have added some pieces around Brock to give him some help so he's not throwing to me out there at wide receiver. The Cardinals. I think the Cardinals have added some great pieces. I think they're going to be improved. But the reality is, I feel like the Cardinals are going to be in a franchise quarterback sweepstakes next year for that draft where all these guys are coming out of college. I don't want to say that they're going to tank per se, but right now at this stage, the 49ers, top to bottom, are simply a better football team. If the Niners go in there with the mentality to handle business, they're going to take care of their Cardinals, no big deal. The travel thing. Yes, travel matters. The Niners once again are in a situation where they're traveling all over the place, more miles than anybody. It's always like this for these West Coast teams. And I think the 49ers are used to it. Every season, this team travels more than most teams in the NFL. This organization understands how to prepare for it. You have veteran leadership that matters. Kyle Shanahan understands these scheduling challenges. So while traveling is tough, it's not some shocking new obstacle that's foreign to this football team. So yeah, I feel we're going 12-5 again. We're about to get in here and break down each game by game. I want to give you my win-loss. But if you feel like the 49ers were not really a 12-5 football team last year, I get it. I understand. I felt like they were really fighting above their weight class last year, to be honest. I think they were able to pull off some wins really based on how the special teams played. Eddie Pinheiro is still in the building. I still feel like he's that guy. In my opinion, that's the most consistent area on the 49ers football team last year with special teams. Again, I know what happened in that Seattle game in the playoffs. I'm talking about regular season. Eddie was money. You could truly count on this guy. And I think it's going to be the same thing again this year. I think that we're going to win some games based on special teams again, on top of the fact that the offense is going to be better. It's going to be more explosive. There's going to be better health. And I think the defense is going to be improved. So if you felt like the 49ers won more games than they should have last year, I think they actually win the games, 12 of them, just like I predicted last year. For lack of better words, I think they're going to earn these 12 wins. Don't get me wrong. You earn every win you get. But if you felt like they were punching above their weight class, I think they're just heavyweights and one of the best teams in the NFL this year for real. And not just getting to use a basketball analogy, just getting a few miracle shots to fall last year to win games. I think they're going to earn all the way these wins this year, and they're going to go 12-5 again. So let's look at this schedule. Let's break this thing down. All right, so let's take a look at this thing here. So week 1, you got in Australia against the Rams right off the bat. Lots of travel involved, but I really feel like the 49ers come out fast this season. They have a healthy roster. I really feel like the 49ers faithful are going to outnumber the Rams fans 3-1 in this one. It's going to be one of those situations where it feels like a home game, very similar to what it's like when the 49ers play in Los Angeles. I think this is a statement game out of the gate. I know that probably top to bottom, the Rams have a better roster, but I really feel like the 49ers are going to go locked in with the healthier team. They split the series last year. I think they get week 1 against the Rams, put the league on notice right out of the gate. And again, I think a lot of people forget that Kyle has more wins against McVay. So I have the 49ers starting out the season with a victory in Australia, week 1, September 10th, starting out with a 1-0 record. Week 2, you got the Dolphins at home. I understand that the Dolphins do have some talent there. They have some speed. They got the A-Train, the A-Chain out there. I really like that player at running back that the Dolphins have for sure, but they're just not going to be able to physically stand up against the 49ers or be able to stop the 49ers offense and what they do. And while Miami has some explosive pieces, I trust the Niners to control the line of scrimmage and really dictate this game, honestly, throughout. It's at home, our home opener. I definitely like the odds in this one. In week 2, I have the Niners starting out 2-0. Week 3, Cardinals. I'm not, by no stretch of the imagination am I saying, do I think that the Cardinals would tank? But Jacoby Brissett is not scaring anyone at all. And they have some nice pieces. I really enjoyed the way they drafted. I do. I just feel like they're not there yet. And they will be in that quarterback sweepstakes for sure next year, trying to get their franchise guy with all those good quarterbacks that's coming out of next year's NFL draft. So I have the 49ers going 3-0. Week 4 against the Denver Broncos. This is another game at home. I think the schedulers tried to do the 49ers a favor here, making the Niners travel to Australia and then 3 consecutive home games. That is very nice. And those schedule makers, again, I've heard a lot of chatter about how brutal this schedule is. This game in Australia with the Rams is a neutral site game. And I really feel like at the end of the day, it could even be worse for the Rams as far as crowd noise wise than it would be if they would have just stuck to having that game in Los Angeles. At any rate, let's get back to this Denver game. This Denver game feels like one of those weird, low-scoring games where the 49ers can't get anything to go right. It really does. And I think Denver, with their defense, the physicality, the way they play, I just feel like Bo Nix in this one on third down will do enough with his legs on big plays to extend drives. And I feel like Denver steals this one with a last-second field goal at the end of regulation. So this is where I have the 49ers with their first loss at home against the Denver Broncos. Week 5 against the Seattle Seahawks on October 11th. For whatever reason, call it a gut feeling. I've been right a lot over the last few years, not to toot my own horn, but I really feel like this year the 49ers are going to split this series with Seattle. I feel like they're going to split the series with the Rams, so the 49ers are going to go up to Seattle like they did week 1 of last year and pull out this win. I know I'm going to hear a whole lot about that. Typically what I've seen historically is that when teams win a championship, especially as of late, right? We're not talking about the We're not talking about the Tom Brady back-to-back champion Patriots. We're not talking about that. I'm just talking about as of late. It seems like there are times when teams take the foot off the gas a little bit. And I'm not taking anything away from Seattle. They absolutely embarrassed San Francisco in the playoffs last year. And I feel that they are a very good football team. I really do. They've lost their offensive coordinator. They've lost some pieces on that team. If you're hearing that I'm saying that the 49ers are super better than Seattle, that's not at all what I'm saying. What I am getting at is that I feel as though Seattle might take a slight step back just at the beginning of the season, trying to get used to the new offense, trying to get acclimated coming off a Super Bowl win. And I feel like the 49ers go in there laser focused, throw everything in the kitchen sink at Seattle and pull out a victory up there in Seattle. So I have the 49ers now through week 5 being 4-1. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I do. I really feel like the Niners are going to jump on them a bit early. I'm not sitting here saying it's going to be some barn burner by any stretch of the imagination, but I see the Niners pulling out the victory. Week 6 against the Commanders on October 19th is going to be a Monday Night Football game. I've heard a lot of folks say, will this be the Brandon Ayuk revenge game? There has been a lot of craziness with Brandon Ayuk and the posting on the social media, this, that, and the other. Look, I'm the type of person that believes everybody deserves a second chance. And my hope, my prayer for Brandon is that he's okay mentally, physically, and he can get another shot at playing in the NFL. I really hope that for him. I know folks are saying that the 49ers are being petty, this, that, and the other by holding on to him. At the end of the day, when all the dust clears, all the smoke goes away, I'm really hoping that man gets an opportunity to play again. He just can't do good against the 49ers in week 6 on Monday Night Football. That being said, this is how I feel about it. We have the better roster, the better coaching, more experience. I know Jaden Daniels is always that wild card because the dude is just ultra talented, super good. He had a lot of injuries last year. I just feel like the 49ers are the better football team. I have them pulling off the victory, giving the 49ers a 5-1 record. Week 7 at the Falcons. Listen, faithful, I'm going to be at that game. I'm super excited about it, super pumped. 49ers, Kyle, Brock, CMC, Fred, Bosa. Listen, guys, I need you to not let me down in week 7 at the Falcons. I'm going to be there watching you. Atlanta has a lot of talent, guys. They have a lot of talent, but I do trust the 49ers more in big moments. Is it going to be Tua? Is it going to be Penix? Man, I don't know. I don't know. Does it matter? This is the Raheem Morris returns to the Falcons game. I could see us dialing up a lot of exotic pressures, really putting some heat on whoever it is back there playing quarterback for this team. Bless Atlanta's heart, man. If I'm Atlanta, I really don't process why they went and got Tua. If I'm Atlanta, if I'm that front office, to me, Atlanta's got pieces. They have dudes. They simply need a good quarterback, man. They should just, again, don't want to say tank. I don't want to say throw games or lose games on purpose, man. But there's a lot of guys coming out next year that I feel are better than Penix or Tua. If they could get one of those guys, man, their future would be bright. At the end of the day, I have the 49ers coming out victorious in this game. Another situation where I feel like they're going to be better coached, simply have the better players, have the better offense. I think they'll have the better defense. I have the 49ers winning in this one. It's going to bring our record to 6-1. Now week 8, the bye week. Once again, 49ers have such a brutal schedule. No, perfect bye week here. Week 8, rest, reset. There's always injuries in football, as I've noted before. It's not going to be as bad as last year. Everybody calm down. We can get some rest, some recuperation, and get ready for the second half of the season, which I feel is the more difficult stretch. So you got the 49ers coming in here after the bye, week 9, November 8th, at home against the Raiders. I like a lot of things that the Raiders did. I like a lot of the players that the Raiders have. Brock Bowers, man, Ashton Genty. I like these players. I really, truly do. I don't know about Mendoza. He definitely did great in the playoff last year, but I think that's a wild card. I don't know where this team is going to be. I just, once again, think it's a situation to where the 49ers are a better football team. This game is at home. I got the Niners pulling out the victory. It's a rivalry game. It's going to be a physical game, but I think the 49ers toward the end there, especially in the fourth quarter, begin to overwhelm the Raiders a bit. I have the 49ers coming out on top, 7-1 record. Week 10, the Cowboys, okay? Man, the Cowboys have lots of talent on offense. 2 really good receivers. I actually don't mind Dak Prescott. I know a lot of people beat up Dak because the Cowboys just haven't been able to get it done, but if we could just be honest, it's not because of Dak Prescott. Seriously. But this is one of those situations, and I'm going to get into the 49ers-Chiefs game when we get down there in Week 16, but it's a very similar feeling in that I don't care how good the Cowboys are. Until they beat the 49ers, this is just what I'm going to say. It's a win. You're going to have to show me, Cowboys. The 49ers, I've got beating Dallas again until Dallas proves otherwise. I'm going to roll with San Francisco until the Cowboys show up in a game against the 49ers. Full stop. 49ers 8-1. Starting the season 8-1. Week 11, Sunday Night Football, November 22nd against the Vikings. When I saw this game on the schedule, when I actually pulled up the 49ers schedule and I looked at it, for whatever reason, that Vikings game really stuck out to me as being a game the 49ers would lose. For whatever reason, I know Jawan Jennings plays there now. Trust me, that did not factor into it. It's our second international game. It's going to be in Mexico. I think we're going to be riding super high on our win against the Cowboys. This is where the 49ers might start feeling themselves a little bit, okay? 8-1. This is where we let one slip. It has trap game written all over it. For whatever reason, Kyler Murray just runs all over us, okay? And I feel like a combination of those receivers, us feeling ourselves, and chasing Kyler around all day long, another international game. I just feel like this is one Minnesota gets. Like before I even started breaking down the schedule for wins and losses, it was just like, wow, something about that game. Call it a gut feeling. I don't know. Just call it a gut feeling. Niners get their second loss, 8-2. Week 12, at home, Seahawks. I think this is where we get humbled. I think we beat Seattle the first time. The Seahawks lock in big time, similar to last year. I don't think it's going to be some ridiculously massive blowout, Brock throwing 4-pick, nothing like that. Nothing crazy. But Seattle locks in this game and pulls out a victory. All these conference games are extremely hard, extremely difficult. I said it at the top of the show. The 49ers are going to split, and this is where Seattle comes in. And I think at the end of the day might actually help the 49ers more than hurt the Niners. But I think at home, it is a loss against the Seahawks. Now, I know a lot of folks are probably going to start freaking out because that's back-to-back home losses. And now comes the dreaded visit to New York, okay, to these Meadowlands, the New York Giants, December 6th on the road. This is where ACLs go to die. I know it. Can we get out of here unscathed? I'm going to make a prediction. Brace yourself for this one. this is going to be the first time we come out of there ACL tear free. Just call it a gut feeling. I think we're going to be okay, faithful. On top of that, to make everyone feel better, I think we get this win. I think that the Seattle Seahawks help the San Francisco 49ers lock in, right the ship, and we dominate the Giants. I really feel like this is going to be a game where we lock in and set our sights leading up to Week 14. This Week 14 game against the Rams, I told you guys before that I felt like we would split, and I just feel like this is one of those situations where the Rams pull out a game against us at home. It's one of those situations where the 49ers, people are freaking out. I can hear it all. Look at all these home games. The Niners are losing. Can't believe they lost all these home games, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to be one of those situations where we split with the Rams and we split with the Seahawks. And for whatever reason, we beat them, quote unquote, in their home game, and they beat us in our home game. Okay? That is going to now bring our record to 9-4. Okay? This is where we as 49er fans start freaking out and the sky is falling and you start putting Mac Jones. I can already hear it now. That's just what we do as 49er fans. We're really hot. We're really cold. We're freaking out. Week 15 against the Chargers. I have heard so much about how much better the Chargers are than the 49ers and how better coached they are. And I'm like, what? This is one of those things where, what if the Chargers done? What if the Chargers won? I just don't flop the team out side by side roster-wise. The 49ers are a better football team. I don't care that it's at the Chargers. What have they won? What have they done? I don't process or see why so many people have the 49ers losing this game. I have the 49ers winning this game. I'm not going to say in a blowout, but winning easy. I don't get the whole why folks think the Chargers are so much better than the 49ers. I would argue that up and down all the way. I do think it's going to be close in the beginning. It's going to be very physical. And they want to troll. They want to do their funny little schedule release substation troll, but I think it's the 49ers who get to troll at the end. I really do. I think the 49ers win this game. Again, I wouldn't even use the word convincingly, but they're going to get this win. That's going to bring our record to 10-4, heading into Week 16 at the Chiefs. Oh, the Chiefs. So just like I just did the Cowboys, I'm going to be consistent here, faithful. The 49ers cannot beat the Chiefs until they do it. It's Patrick Mahomes at Arrowhead. Full stop. The end. Until the Niners can prove they can beat the Chiefs, I'm going to say it's not happening. That's it. Loss at Arrowhead, Week 16, December 27th. It's probably going to be a blizzard. I don't care if it's beach weather. Until the Niners can prove they can do it, until Kyle Shanahan proves to me that he can outcoach Andy Reid in a game, nope, won't do it. It's 49ers loss. That's going to bring our record to 10-5. Week 17 against the Eagles. And this is another one. I've heard so much talk. Faithful, we just beat this team at their house with everybody hurt. What makes you think we can't beat them in Sunday Night Football? I just don't understand it. I'm not saying it's not going to be a tough contest or I don't respect what the Eagles have or anything, but they're probably not even going to have A.J. Brown. So, again, I really do have in this game Sunday Night Football, Week 17, 49ers locking into that playoff-ready atmosphere at home, and I have the 49ers pulling out the victory in this one as well, bringing our record to 11-5. Now, this brings us to Week 18. The Niners are going to really finish strong here, okay? At this point in the season, the Arizona Cardinals will already have mentally prepared themselves for where they're going to fall. The season's probably most likely already shaken out, and they'll have a very good idea as to who they're going to go after in the 2027 NFL draft, probably at quarterback. So I feel the Niners finish strong, finish with a victory, 12-5 record overall. This team doesn't have to be perfect. They just need to stay healthy enough to be themselves. If the run game comes back, defensive pressure improves, and Brock Purdy continues to develop in a way where he doesn't feel like he has to play a lot of hero ball by himself because all his weapons are hurt. If he has a healthy team, faithful, we're going to be just fine. This team, at the end of this season, if they're remotely healthy, can absolutely compete for a championship. But I want to hear from you. What is your prediction for the 2026 season? What game scares you the most? And do you think this is finally the year they can pull this off and return the Lombardi Trophy to San Francisco? If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe. Please share it with the faithful. As always, take care, be blessed, and go Niners.